All right, I'm at 424 right now, and you were talking about the reality of ideas. And I would agree, ideas are real, but they don't exist in the same domain as real, as in, material reality. I believe that they exist on a spectrum, and the subtlety of the atomic structure of an idea makes it substantially separate in a practical sense from the density of a material object. And so the interesting thing to me is the way that our ideas are influenced by different levels of reality. And I would say along that spectrum, in between idea and material form, would be something like feelings and emotions, and the way that those are affected by outside, external stimulation, as well as internal stimulation. All forms of neuroses, I would say, or psychosis would be when you have internal stimuli provoking feelings and then emotions that prompt a doesn't have to be a trauma reactive fight, flight, freeze, or fawning, or any of the others response, but influence our actions, that it inspires our will to move our body against our environment to produce a different result, or the same result if it's pleasurable, right? We'd like to continue that sensation, or even if we would like to amend that situation to prevent the stagnation of that pleasure, which would bring it out of the realm of pleasure and into the realm of, well, I guess it'd be underwhelming. So, it'd be understimulating. And that isn't to say that I'm a hedonist, but it's not also to say that I'm not. I'd like to think of it more of an Epicurean qualitative hedonist, but appreciating the whole cycle. And so when we have built up an internal history, then it's no longer external stimulation causing us to feel a certain way. So I think of feelings as being receptive. I feel that. It's a sensation. And then emotion is our reaction to that. We emote it. It's a masculine projection. And so that is when we don't feel good, it's difficult to sit with that feeling. And so we often project it onto others inappropriately, or at best appropriately. But the point I'm trying to make is that when we establish a historical reference to a situation, which we do as a defense mechanism when we don't have all of the information, we take the information that we have and we fill it in with historical information. And then we interject that into the feeling based on the current situation. And that is the combination is what determines the new feeling. And so this cycle, it's it's more of a spiral than a cycle, because I think that it in time moves forward and we find ourselves in the same place, with the difference being of, not that time is practical, but time is the amount of history that we have access to. I'm at 5 minutes and 39 seconds into your video now, and I'm totally with you as far as an unembodied idea is unrelatable to and uncommunicable, and therefore impotent in the world. It is when we are able to actualize, I don't know if that was the term that you used, but that's the term that I use. We actualize or manifest an idea or thought into action, and these are the magical phrases that we have, from abracadabra, meaning I speak, therefore I manifest, and you go to the opening lines of Genesis, where God spoke, with the vibrational frequency of his thoughts through his, proverbial vocal cords, we'll call it, is what manifested. And then even Amen or Amen after the Christian prayer means so be it. And so the idea is that you're praying, your thoughts and your contemplation, the substance of your contemplation is sort of clapped into reality. You've begun a sort of pilgrimage of manifesting that idea. All right, I'm at 6:18, and I'm wondering if you think that an embodied soul would be the life that is within a body, like within our bodies. I'm at 10 minutes and 18 seconds, and we were talking about the role of science. And I believe that the role of science is to show the work and democratize spirit, or at least the channels to engage with spirit, to manifest our, I say our will, but it's really, as you said, the Logos working through us. And so that's where somebody as contentious as Aleister Crowley saying, do thy will, that thy will is not our subjective selfish will, it is do thy will with a capital T, and thy will shall be the whole of the law. I mean, he's really channeling a Jesus type revolution in the way that we act in the world. And so with that, I would say that religion has always known the answers to the questions, that science is emerging to come up with the results, come up with the work to prove the methods out to make them accessible on a human level.
Maybe not to a debate.
I can't just. Can't just put in subtitles.